Alright everybody, we will get started in just a few moments. Taking care of a couple things. Hopefully we should be all set in just a moment. Don't say no, keep watching some Mo. See you soon. Alrighty folks, just one more minute and we're gonna get started. Just one more minute. See you soon. Alrighty, welcome to the next decade. How y'all doing today? I hope y'all are well. It's good to see you. Thank y'all for coming back. I really appreciate it. Today's setup was an absolute nightmare, let me tell you. But it finally all came together in the last couple seconds. So here we are. Just so you know, this is going to be one of the most uncomfortable streams for me. My air conditioner died. There's a storm coming, meaning that my air conditioner is going to get flooded because it's under the house. It's just the way it was designed, a really stupid design. I'd love to fix it, but that's a couple tens of grands I don't have to fix that at the moment, but eventually. So for now, I got cold drinks. I changed up my hat, and I changed all my clothes too, because I realized by the time I actually sat down to stream with y'all, I was a sweaty ball of mess. So I've done my best to clean up as much as I can. Went with the Rider Diner hat today too. I decided we're gonna switch it up. I think Wednesdays I might wear this guy. Just because I don't give it as much attention like I used to. So yeah, let's talk about everything that's going to be happening today. Today we're going to be working on the IXA cosplay. We're going to try to get one of the shins completed. And then we're going to try a speed run and get the second one completed. Because I wanted to do that last time and it didn't quite work out. And I started doing the work for the rest of the shin yesterday before the stream. And I decided, you know what? There's some things on this I still want to show y'all how to do. So I'm going to do that today. So, I see a couple people in the chat. I wanted to say hey to y'all. Jay Critic, first? Yes, you were first. Congratulations. You even beat my automated message. And Dakota, good to see you too, buddy. Thanks for coming through. And everybody else has come through. Thank you so much. This is the first public Wednesday stream. The first official public Wednesday stream. If you guys don't know, I usually stream on Saturdays, sometime around 9. And yeah, I'll go for a couple hours just working on cosplay stuff. And we decided we're going to try to throw in another public stream every other Wednesday. But if you want to get more of me on Wednesdays, come check out my Patreon, because we do private streams over there. They're a little bit more relaxed than these, and I go a little bit more in depth and try to help you all learn how to make these things. I'll give you the individual attention a little bit more. But if you want to get some attention while we're doing these public streams, Super Chat's a great way to do it. Helps me out. helps out the channel, and I see exactly when the heck you pop up, and I can help you with whatever you need. So, yeah. I wanted to announce that we are super, super close to the goal of getting a chair, but I learned that YouTube takes a pretty hefty cut of any super chat stuff, which is a little bit of a bummer, but the upside is that I've learned that majority of that other amount of cash that they take goes into advertising your channel to advertisers, which is great. If we can get some advertisers and sponsors, that'd be pretty cool. But the thing is, I want to express this first and foremost, and I've always been like this. I do not push products I do not enjoy. And if it was like, oh, hello, we're Raid Shadow Legends. Would you like to talk about our game today? I'd be like, no! Unless you pay me double what everybody else is getting, then maybe we could talk. But until then, no. Because I don't even like those kind of games. That's just me. No, I can't use heck, because I know who you are. Alright, the other thing about the Patreon, too, that's a lot of fun, is that there are coaching options and private tutoring options. So, like, if you want to learn how to do this stuff, like, on a one-on-one basis, and, like, nobody else around, or just a select few people that are also on my Patreon, you want to hang out all together and figure out some stuff, more than willing to do it for you. I'll help you with patterns. I'll help you with just basic advice stuff. I'll even help you find a reference. I can even be your video editor, which I've been doing a lot of that. And I actually got an email about something I edited recently that some of you all might see soon. Huh. All right. Well, that's enough blabbing. That's enough shilling. Just bear with me today, folks, because, like, my God, it's hot. It's toasty. Today's topics. We're going to be talking about the IXA cosplay. Got to get that done. We're going to get this Kamen Rider Gaim discussion going. And we're going to talk about the exciting news that we got yesterday, which I'll just go ahead and blab it out now. We're getting another piece of Kamen Rider Gaim content 6 years after the show's ended. It's been not many writers get that kind of attention, so I'm excited to see what happens. Personally, I hope it's a Bravo. I hope it's a Bravo spinoff, or even a Kamen Rider 15 spinoff, because Itsuji, the actor that plays 15, dude's a legend. He's also in Denjin Zabogar, the newer movie. If you haven't seen Denjin Zabogar, please go see that movie. That movie is absolutely off the walls crazy. It slows down a lot in the middle, but like the beginning and the end, it's like a what's the best way to put it? It's like a reverse ice cream sandwich. It's like super good on the outsides, but the inside's just a little bit stale, but it's still a really good movie. Go check it out. Also, the dude who played Gohan Red, Furuhara, he is the younger version of Itsuji's character in that movie. He plays the younger Zabogar dude earlier in the movie. It's really cool. Please go check it out. All right. So where did we leave off with the shin last time? So last time y'all were here, I sanded down the seam that was on the front. I glued up the back. And I added these little bits right here. So the next thing I need to do is I need to make like a shin piece that kind of covers up to the top. Looks almost like an E piece. Once that's attached, then I'm going to come back through with my sanding stick and sand down some of these edges just a little bit. And then we're going to start laying down some paper in strips. And I'm going to start drawing them all of the same thickness. We're going to pull it off. We're going to trim it down. And then we're going to transfer that design over to some 2mm foam, this stuff right here, but we're actually going to layer it. We're going to do 4mm. I wasn't able to procure some 4mm for this, so when in doubt, stack the smaller stuff until you get the size you need. So that's what I'm going to be doing. The other good side about that too is that because there'll be so much contact cement in there holding that all together, these parts will stick together better. Like it'll just be stronger overall. It'll give some more strength to the part overall, which is awesome. That's good. Yes! So, okay, since you asked so nicely, this is Robots in Disguise Prime. This is Fire Truck Prime. This is one of my favorite toys ever. I love it so very much. And I love it so much I actually bought it twice, because when I was a kid, I took it with me to some event, and I dropped it, and like the whole right side of the fire truck just evaporated into the stands, and I lost it. I was not able to get it back. And, yeah, so I got this guy instead as a replacement. Makes me pretty happy. I still have the other Prime, so I can display both of them, which is pretty cool. And then, right here, I also have Scourge. So, this is also from Robots in Disguise. I know, taking toys and opening them up? What's wrong with you? Oh man, it's almost as if I enjoy toys and the engineering of them and I want to look at them. So then maybe you can learn things. Like, this is part of the reason why I don't let people dunk on me when it comes to toys and models. is that I could see value in them other than just being a toy or a thing I'm fiddling with. Like, I could look at those things for hours and just be like, man, how can I make that? How can I work that around with my own methods? And then, heck, they're great reference sometimes, too. If you get one with a good sculpt, why not, you know? Yes, well, actually, that's crazy. Itsuji's also the Spider-Man in Kamen Rider the First, but the suit actor is a guy named Akira. And Akira was also the, he's also the lead suit actor for Gamera in the Heisei Gamera trilogy. He has it at AAC Stunts. I've got to work with him before. He's a cool dude. Akira's great. Oh, hey! I've been trying to get that package to you like this whole year, but America's kind of stupid right now. The minute things are good, I got you. I'm so sorry. I've been meaning to reply to you. It's been an absolute wild 6 months trying to get everything all in order. But I see you. You know who you are. I'm sorry, but I got you. Okay? It's coming. The minute America's like, don't be stupid anymore, or... Okay, that's... Okay, let me be more real. The minute that America's gotten to a point where we can try to start talking to everybody else in the world and sending things out again, I got you. I was trying to do it before this all happened, and I goofed. I got you. Okay. So I wanted to get that out of the way because I saw you pop in the chat, man. I didn't want to leave you hanging. Whatever. Get over it, Dakota. You'll be fine. All right, so we need to get going on these shin parts. So let's jump right into it. Our first story today on the field of prank shows. Oh, I forgot to mention Super Chat. Throwing it out there because I know some of y'all are creeps. $50, I'll eat the banana on stream. Anything less than that, I'll eat some grapes. Just throwing it out there. Why am I drinking out of this one when there's ice in this other cup right here? You know what? I'm going to fill up the ice cup. Need that. It's so hot in here today, y'all. It's bad when I have my computer going and all my lights going. And I'm wearing all black. But the only reason why I'm wearing all black is because I don't want you all to see my sweat stains. It's one thing I'll tell you about my streams. I'll be honest with y'all. Every single time. If I really feel like I need to say something, I will say something. Alright, so we need to make some strips. Scripts. Let's slide y'all over here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a couple strips just about the same width as my ruler. Then once we get them all angled nicely on the shin piece, I'm going to draw on the design the way I want it. We're going to tape it down, draw it on one more time. Then we're going to pull it off, and we're going to transfer that over. Got a lot of gluing today. Oh, I forgot to mention, too, near the end, we're going to talk about Gaim and all that, but we have a special guest joining us today. And I hope you all are excited. Hey, Dom, what's up, cuz? Good to see you. Hope you're well, buddy. We're just getting started, so no worries. Why did I do that when I know I need a sheet? I'm just, God, I'm brain dead sometimes, I swear. All right, knife. Just gotta line this up just right. So today is Gaim Day because earlier there was an announcement for a new Kamen Rider Gaim special being made. Yes, more Kamen Rider Gaim in the year of our Lord 2020. Absolutely crazy, right? Well, the good news behind all that is that they are trying to do more like celebratory days for things in Kamen Rider, and like they know a lot of people worldwide love Gaim, so they decided maybe let's do like another day like Kaiser Day, because they see how much attention Kaiser Day got every single year. So on the 16th, earlier today, or yesterday for some of us, they announced the new Gaim special, and people like the gentleman that plays Kamen Rider Bravo said something, the dude that was Kamen Rider 15 said something. But the thing I think is most interesting, and I'm super excited about, Gaku Sano, the guy that plays Kota in Kamen Rider Gaim himself, posted on his Twitter earlier in the month, like, oh hey, I get to work with him again, meaning he probably gets to work with Baron's actor, which is cool. That's really cool. I'm excited to see everyone come back again. But we'll talk more about Gaim a little bit later, but if you just want to know why we're having a Gaim Day, that's why. So, you know what they say, happy Gaim Day, don't say no, just live more, AAO, all that good stuff. Knight of Spear. All that. I'm super excited. I'm really hoping this means we're getting another ring of toys here pretty soon. I wouldn't know anything about that myself, though. I hear somebody in California yelling at me. Hope there will be an IXA day. You know what? I hope so too, but even better, I hope there's a Gaim core day, because we wouldn't have IXA without Gaim. Also, if that ever happens, I'm going to be in so many fights on streams with so many people. I'm going to sit there and just be like, Dan Croto's the best thing that ever happened to that show, and you know it. Literally would not be a story without that man. He's evil, but he's also not too evil. He's complex. I like talking about Dan, I really do. But I ain't trying to get into that right now. Maybe in the future we'll have an all Dan stream if there's not an X8 day. Also, I'm just a huge fan of Tetsuya Iwagana, the dude. Talented. Very talented. Also in Mensa, he's certified genius. Fluent in English. Very smart guy. Get him as Neo Heisei Kaiza for sure. Oh lord. Alright, hopefully I'll have enough to do the strips. I'm gonna do just one more page just to be safe. Get rid of the scrap. When is Spider-Man Day? That's a good question. It's Stanley's birthday. That's what it is. It's on Stanley and Jack Kirby's birthday. That's Spider-Man Day. He's so good he gets twice. Yep. One for the spider part, another one for the man part. Or you could celebrate it every year and celebrate every single day as one of those spiders that creates the many spiders that is Spider-Man's. Or Spider's Man. Excuse me. Which I think's awesome, and honest to God, like I want comics of that Peter Parker. More Spiders Man, please. I just noticed my logo is above the chat. I don't remember putting it there. It's supposed to be like right here. Huh. Oh yeah, what do y'all think about the Gaim collection? I thought I'd bring that out today for y'all to take a look at. Whoa, I look super blown out on this camera. What in the world? See, that's what I've been saying. It's been a rough day of trying to get everything running. Absolutely crazy. Yes, the art of cosplay. Make strips. Cry. Make more strips. Cry harder. Oh, that wasn't a good one. Oh well, doesn't matter. I don't want that fakeness anyways. I could be drawing on my own later. Cool beans. Alright, I love how I did all that, but I still need to do another part first, which is that front shin knee piece. Oh, man. Oh, man. Huh. Need this. So I know I need to put this like about a centimeter up. Where's the... See, this, I love this ruler. But I hate this ruler at the same time. Like, I'm sincerely debating going through and cutting this down just so I can get rid of this stupid thing and make a flat edge at the end. Because I want to use the millimeter side. I've been switching to metric. Trying to get this, because, like, I hate to admit it, it's just more accurate and it's a lot easier than sitting there looking at, like, a fraction of an inch and being like, the fuck is that? So, like, millimeters are my new thing. Millimeters and centimeters. So, I'm just trying to get this laid out to where I know how far up I can go. Use my pencil real quick. Oh yeah, you can use a pencil and foam, but try to use a mechanical one and try to be very gentle with it. You do not want to press into the foam too much or you will leave marks, and that's no good. I need to readjust that camera again too, because y'all can't see anything. Give me 2 seconds, I'm gonna fix this. It's bothering me. Too bright. Darker. There, that looks more natural. We'll raise it up ever so slightly. Turn it a little bit more towards me. There we go, that's looking better. Sorry about that. The other problem is too is that Mom's a school teacher and she doesn't have a webcam, so I've been letting her use this one, so I have to constantly readjust this one. It's a bummer. It's alright though, we're gonna get her own setup here pretty soon. Be nice to school teachers right now, they're having a very rough time. Unless they're a bad school teacher, then, you know, punk on them. Alright, so where is that? This one. This is the one I want. So this has most of the design of the thing that I need. And I know that the top of the shin is slightly wrong. I need to add... how much? Like 5 millimeters to the top. Let me just do a quick trace. Nothing too fancy, just enough to get the basic shape of what I have to do next. Add 5 up here. Oh hey, congratulations! I'm guessing you got the gig then. Good for you. The music die? No, it's just really quiet. It's like, what's going on? Okay, so I need to bring up my reference for just a moment, so I'm going to miss out on chat for just a second. Teaching PE through computer, man, that must have been rough trying to get kids to do jumping jacks from the other side of a screen. Good luck. That's a bummer. More power to them, though. All right, let's bring up my reference real quick. Okay. Okay, so this will actually be a lot easier than I thought. I don't need to panic as much. Actually, I don't even need to add that top part onto this like I thought. There's a small gap in between the top of the shin and then the actual knee part I'm trying to make. But then there's also over coverage with the strips to where I could probably do the top strip in 6 millimeter and do the bottom strip in 4. Or heck, I could probably do it in 6 as well. No, I'd rather do it in 4 because it's a little bit slimmer on the rest of it. But the top, I could definitely do that in 6. Well, no, because it evens out. Oh, man. Oh, this is... I might have to actually do 3 stacks on top of that. I'm sorry. I wish I could have like a computer or something, like a tablet computer or something that can pull up this stuff onto the screen for y'all real quick. Here, I'll see if I can show it to y'all over here on this other camera after I've quickly rolled myself over. And when I say quickly, I mean take my damn time because I suck. Alright. See if y'all can't see this. Alright. See the knee? Kind of hard to see. It's getting a little bit blown out. But you see that top blue part? It's raised up higher than the lower blue part. And that's what I'm trying to look at now. Because I need to find a way to have this lining match up with these guys. I still need to trim down the sides of them, and I'm going to do that with my Dremel off camera. And that'll definitely make it look like to where they're even up more, but I just want to figure out, do I want to go 6 or do I want to stick with 4? Well, I'm torn, but I don't have time to think about it like this. I got to get moving. So I'm just going to get to it. All right. All right, let's see here. So it starts to bend at that bend part, but it needs to go a little bit further. so it can actually be up at an angle. I'm gonna be sitting here playing with paper for a minute while I try to figure this out, so just bear with me. Just doing a rough sketch, trying to get my shape right. Can't quite tell if he has if it's curve or if it's an angle on the front of that. I have to check some other photos. Definitely an angle. Gotcha. Essentially what I'm doing right now is just, it's a fancy way of drafting. Not fancy, what am I saying? It's a lazy way of drafting. Let's be real. This one needs to have, like... Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Okay, and then I just need to do one more top part that kind of goes like this. Enough. Do one of these kind of cuts under it to match up. I can make that cleaner when we actually get to the actual pattern part. Okay, cool. So next, I'm gonna fold up my paper and see what we got. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, there's a method to my madness. If you're watching close, you'll see what this turns into really quickly. So that goes there. 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 Okay. Next, I'm gonna cut all this out, and I'm gonna show you all a trick. It ain't gonna be a perfect cut, just make it as close to it as you can. Because like I said, this is a draft. This might not end up being your final pattern. If it does end up being your final pattern, redraw it. Can't stress that enough. Here, I'm gonna bring up chat again because I don't want to be missing y'all too much. Whew. Patent on satin on the P sessional substituting, pretty interesting. How do you even substitute right now? Like, do you actually go to the school, or like are you just like sitting online, just like, hey, mute yourself? Ooh, that might have been a mistake. Right. Fix that up now, because I've definitely ruined that one. Okay. So now, I made these extra lines because I'm going to cut on the inside and I'm going to bend this in a little bit. That should give me the shape I want, and then when I'm happy and satisfied with that, I'm going to cut it again, just so that I know there's no extra space in there. Actually, no, I'm going to do it on the bottom half, because the bottom half is going to get changed up the most anyways. Okay, good. That's good. All right, cool. I'm just going to tape it. We're going to go with it. Let's see how it does. Come on. Still trying to keep this as even as I can. Yeah, that should be good enough. Alrighty. Okay. It's alright. I keep taping the front and the back too, so then I retain the shape. Teachers are sort of slow, so we sit in class for like 15 minutes, and it's understandable because they're still learning how to use Zoom. But it's boring. I would rather go to real school. I feel that, but you still got to keep yourself safe. It's getting kind of crazy out there. IXA, right? Is that a writer from 5? Sorry, I haven't been watching the Heisei Writers Phase 1 besides Kuga. Actually, no, Kuga's from Kiva. He was a bounty hunter. So, originally it was supposed to be called Hunter, but that didn't work out. They changed it last second, from what I understand. Well, last second for, you know, writer name designs, that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, IXA's cool. It's also involved with a couple of memes for old school Kamen Rider fans. Or, not even old school, just older Heisei Rider fans from back in the day. Exercise! All that good stuff. Alright. Let's check something out. Bionic Soldier. God, I like this song. It's a good one. Bionic Soldier. Ah, okay. Let me make this more parallel with this one. Okay, trim that real quick. Give me just a second, folks. That one's a bit closer. Yeah, that'd be nice. That's one thing I hate about education. Like, you can get some of it for free, but there's other parts where it's like just the time it takes to actually give it to you, man. Like, you need something back. It's hard. Also, excuse me if I'm super gassy. I had pizza earlier, and sometimes it gets all up in me. Alright, I don't want it to stick out that far. So I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to actually cut these side pieces right here and angle them in towards each other a little bit and see what we get. Oh my god, this is perfect. Oh my god. Just trying to make sure these all line up everywhere I have my little markings. Yeah, that's gonna work. Here. I don't know if y'all can see it too well. Let me put it on camera a bit better. God, I gotta do it over here. See the shape of it? Yeah, alright. So I gotta tape these together now. How are you feeling about Saber so far? So, I started talking about it last week. I'm optimistic. I still have my concerns, just like everybody else does at the moment. But as far as suit design goes, pretty pleased. Those things look great. As far as story goes, need to see more. We're only 2 episodes in. You usually got to wait till Christmas till you got a decent feeling of what the show is going to be. Honest to God, I thought about bailing out on IXA, and then I saw what happened on Christmas time. And that kept me for the rest of the year. That was a fun Christmas. And if it's your first time experiencing a Kamen Rider Christmas, I highly encourage you all to order some Rider tissues, because you're probably not ready. What Rider tissues? What are those? They're literal tissues you can purchase at convenience stores in Japan that have Kamen Rider on them. That's it. Oh, that's why. That's in the wrong spot. I need to go from the bottom, not the top. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Shin guard. Yeah, this is a shin piece. This is going to be a shin piece. I'm trying to get this done and completely modeled out today so I can make another one really fast. Like, I'll probably, like, keep my eyes off the chat and just fly. And then I'll want you guys to see what I can do once I actually have my patterns done. Oh, Mason says he's got his Saber stuff coming in. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Can't wait to see what y'all think about it. I really want to play with one before I decide to grab one. It's also just, I'm not a big fan of tiny, tiny swords. And, like, as much as I have been clamoring for a toy design like this, I just, like, I'm a little bit upset by it. I feel like we were closer with something like the Shot Riser. But I also just really do not want to step away from Henshin belts. Like, don't get me wrong, I really do feel like there can be other riders with other transformation devices. It's not like it hasn't happened before. But, I will say, I don't want to lose the Henshin belt. It's super cool. I think it's a great idea. It makes it very unique to Rider. Oh my god. Tofu fan, you're killing me. Save the earth. Save a life. Okay. Now let's put another piece up at the top. Yes, that's how it should have sat. That's why I was sitting weird. Alright. So I'm gonna draw on a couple more little things just to make sure we got this just right. Ooh. I always do so much stuff off camera. I'm so sorry, y'all. Alright, I think I just come to the decision those are just going to redefine those edges. Forget that. That's so dumb. Alright. Come back here. Where are you going? You're not done yet. I need you. Okay, one more time, just make sure I'm laying this just right. About the cut in the right places and all that. Yeah, that's where those points need to go. Should have really done all these markings before I pulled this away. But you know me, big stupid sometimes. Gotta make big stupid decisions and do big smart ones. Eventually. Nods in approval. Okay. They're calming. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you like it. Because, like, this is usually what I used to do, calm myself down. Like, I get so antsy not being able to find work or whatever, and then I'd have to do something to keep me busy. And slowly, surely, I actually turned it into actual work. It's been kind of nice. Slowed down considerably this year for, you know, good reasons, but, still trying to find a way to get around that and get back into it and maybe come back out of this stronger than I came into it, which would be pretty cool, gotta say. Okay. So now I gotta be selective about how I cut this, because I don't want it to be too visible, but at the same time I want to be able to do what I need to do. Maybe I'll do this. Cut at the bottom. Along that seam line. Just leave the rest of it as extra. Yeah, that might be... Yeah, that's what we're doing. Cool. I wish I had the skill and patience to do one. Honestly, kill for a 0-1 helmet or a suit or all. So I'm gonna tell you right now, Sergeant. Go head over to the Pigtail channel. This is a Japanese cosplayer and YouTuber who makes free pattern helmets, and he made a pretty good 0-1 helmet pattern. So, like, if you want to give yourself a go at this, you sit here on streams, learn how I do my stuff, watch me, take that pattern and try implementing what you learned here into that. Might be fun. You never know. All right. I think we're good. I think this is going to be the best we're going to get for what I need. Cool. Let me go bust out the 6mm that we have left over as scrap. Let's see where I can fit this on here. Oh, well, first I got to finish cutting this stuff. Actually, let me get the tin snips. No, don't want to use my tin snips. I should be fine with just this. Yeah, let me mark it with a pencil so I can at least see it better. Nice. Not so nice. Okay, better. Just remove the tape. I just want to make sure that this these corners aren't too mismatched. I should probably mark that this is the bottom and that's the top too, so I don't forget. Ugh. So one time we're being an ADD kid kind of helps. I hope I got the strips ready, and that's the first thing I was supposed to do, and I still did that first. I'm gonna put an R on it too, so I know this is the right knee. Okay, cool. Scrap foam. Yeah, Pigtails channel. There we go. I'm gonna flip this over too because it's already got a pre-curve to it because it's been rolled up. Instead of fighting the curve, I'm gonna let the curve work with me. So I'm gonna put this on the other side. Actually, you know what? Since it's curving so much this way, would it fit if I set it that way? It would. Okay, even better. Even better. Get the phone to work with you, not against you. Also, before you start cutting anything, remember, change your blades. Change your blades, change your blades, change your blades. Change your blades. Rotate it around if you haven't rotated it around yet. Change your blades. Always start with a fresh blade. Sand it up if you got a thing to sand it with. Whew. Feels like I've been going longer than 50 minutes. Jeez. I'm gonna try to be quick though, because I really want to get a whole 2 shins done. So I really want to show you guys how quick I can move when I'm not blabbing. Ooh. And don't forget, we also do streams on Saturday too. Just want to mention that in case this is your first time catching any of our streams. We stream on Saturday, usually starting around 9:30. And we go for a few hours. Sometimes we'll go past midnight. Sometimes we won't. Vulcan suit next after IXA. I wish. I would love to do a Vulcan suit. I got a couple things I really got to take care of before I can start doing other big cosplay stuff again. And part of it is I have a show I'm working on with Dawn over at Marco Satsu's channel. And then I have another thing planned immediately after the documentary that I really want to get made, especially after everything that's happened this last year. It's time to do it. But it all counts down to getting that done and getting the other work for that done, which might mean me doing work off stream that none of y'all see, which would suck because I want to show you guys everything and want to do more stuff with you. But the upside is that means that on the streams where I don't have as much other stuff to do, I could make stuff for y'all. We could sit there for like a whole day and I could just make a helmet. Just have y'all sit with me. It'd be a good time. Okay, so this has a few lines on it that I need to like add in for like cutting marks later. So I'm just gonna go ahead and flip this over like this, like bend at the fold, and just trace it over. Might just use a pencil though, we'll see. Yeah, probably pencil. We gotta go up this way. Go up this way. These are going to be our folding lines later where we're going to bend this so it all makes that nice shape that we want. I don't like that line, I'm fixing that one. Can I erase that, I wonder? Never tried erasing stuff off foam before. Nope, just ruins the foam. Ha 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 ha, joke's on me. Stupid. Alright, let's do registration marks. Okay, cool. Cut this bad boy out. Oh, I was supposed to ankle cut that one, I bet. Alright, well, if I make a mistake, that's okay. I got plenty of scrap. Like I said, we're drafting and experimenting with this, trying to get it just right. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright. That could have come out a little bit cleaner. Is this blade already dull? Oh, it does look like I've already used it before. Oh man, I didn't even notice. I thought I just flipped it around. Alright. New blade time. Sorry about the noise, folks. Didn't mean to be all slamming and crashing and banging everything around. But sometimes it just do be like that, though. Come on, motor skills. I need you. Thank you. Got some suggestions for stuff when you don't have as much else to do. Oh, I saw some of those things you mentioned. I did see that. I'm just saying that I do want to do streams where it's like somebody's just like, I want this today, and then I just do it. I think that'd be fun. So, yeah, the Pepakura file might help, but it's also one based off a cell phone model game where half the polygons aren't really worth it. All the details in the texture, which makes it look like it's more high def than it actually is. Some models for Pepakura just aren't worth it. It's better to remodel it yourself, honestly, which I've been getting into. I don't know, it's been a while since we talked, but I actually modeled this IXA hand plate myself, and it needs work. I just want to get the shape of it. But for the most part, it came out pretty good for my first model. Happy with it. My first 100% from scratch model, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. Okay. Yeah, we should be in good shape. Alright. I'm going to do angled cuts going in and out of this one just because I have a feeling it'll be easier for me to lay it up on the rest of the piece when I do it that way. That came out crappy. Bibleman cosplay stream when hell freezes over. Wait, it already did. Apple's using USB-C. Yikes. I'm just lining out where I'm going to do my V cuts here because I need to do a couple V cuts in order to get the shape I want. And V cuts, they're just a fancy way of saying I need to make a mountain fold. Yeah, when Shin Kamen Rider Part 2 gets announced, yeah, sure. Somebody totally hears this and they just want to play a prank on me. Oh my god. Big doubt, though. I don't think any of my friends over there care enough to look at this shit, honestly. That should be good enough right there. I really want to get my Dremel fixed up for this. And before that gets announced for Shin Day. Yeah, sure, like that'll ever happen. Oh, poor Shin. I still want to make Shin. That'll happen one of these days. Yeah, so I gotta do another V-cut on the other sides of these, or else they just won't match up nice. I ain't about that. I want them to match up nice. Good. There we go, and then once I actually get these glued in there, we should be good. All right, folks, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to take a quick break and get myself some more ice, and then we'll be coming right back to gluing this on and then taking care of these strips and adding that to the outside of the shin. See y'all in a bit. Okay, folks, thanks for being patient. We are back. Thanks for waiting. If you're just now joining us, thanks for joining us. We're getting some work done on the IXA shin. We're going to try and get this part added right here. It's going to be a little bit more bulk to the front of it, and then we're going to do the trim, the blue trim that goes all the way on the outside of it. And once we get all of those patterned out, I'm going to try really, really quickly to crank one out very quick, very fast. So y'all can see how quickly I move when I actually have everything ready to go from the get-go, instead of me trying to sit here and pattern it before I actually make it. Alright. I'm going to add up some glue right here. I'm only going to put glue on one side and squeeze it together. It should be good enough for these back seams. You really don't need to use too much contact cement. Just enough to fill in the spots. So here, I'll show y'all on this camera so y'all can see it yourself. Glue's already in there. I'm just squishing. And then any excess that comes up, if there's any spots I miss, I'm going to go back with a little piece of scrap foam as a squeegee and cover it up. And this is okay if you let the glue go over the seams on the back like that. It's just going to give it more places to grip onto. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. So I'm going to use a scrap piece of foam and get into some of these areas that I know did not get covered when I did that. Another thing you got to remember too, when you squish these things in, you're not going to get the innermost part. So before you squish, try to get it in on the innermost part. That's what I forgot to do there. See, that's the thing about prop and costume making, especially rider cosplay, is that like everything has an order of operations, but every order of operations for each thing is different. It's strange. It's very strange. Sometimes you need a heat gun sooner than later. Sometimes you don't need a heat gun at all. Or you know, what's another good example? Sometimes you need a plasti dip. Sometimes you don't need a plasti dip. Like those kind of examples of like things you can or might do, but don't necessarily absolutely need to do. Or sometimes you just gotta do it in like a specific order. Like usually the order is like pattern. Oh no, excuse me. Usually the order is build reference, pattern, then construct with foam. All that. What the hell is that? Wonderful! Someone decided to call me during the stream, so now my camera's goofing. I love it. I can turn off cellular and Wi-Fi and people still try to call me. Hi, I'm in the middle of working. I will call you back later. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry about that, folks. I'm going to try to get the camera up here and working again. There we go. Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, Katie. Do me a favor. Can you message our boy Eric and remind him I work after 9 every night? So sorry about that technical difficulty, folks. For some reason, I can tell my phone I don't want my cellular on. I don't want my Wi-Fi on. You'll still turn it all on. It's the worst. But hopefully the camera should be up and working again. And if it's not, just say something in the chat. If it is working, don't worry about it. Also, we are moving on to week 7 of Avex and Columbia not recognizing I'm using music still. We'll see. If they didn't care to put it on their copyright strike bot, then they couldn't have minded that much. Plus, it's not like half of these songs aren't 30 years old. Plus, I want to start bringing in some Toku songs that, like, don't get played that much. Like, things that don't get listened to as often. And it's not that they're bad, it's just that nobody knows about them, that kind of stuff. Or just because they're so used to Heisei Rider or Ultra, that kind of stuff. Gotta bring in that show of love. I know it's old and cheesy looking, but there's still some good stuff from that era. Lots of good stuff from that era. Some stuff that I wish would still continue to today, but I understand that you gotta adapt and change in order to meet with today's standards. But there comes a point where going back isn't a bad idea. That's just me, though. All right. Let's check the outside, make sure I didn't get too much glue on the outside. Looking good. All right. Pull up a little bit of the extra here. other spots that could use it. Okay. Looking good. Alright, I'm gonna let that dry. Yo, Kiss Fanatic, welcome in. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you, buddy. Blue SWAT. Yeah, odd one. Blue SWAT would be good, some good stuff to put in here. Batarite Genesis. Some of the City War models aren't bad. It's just some of them get decimated, and then those are the ones you usually use in gameplay mode. But there's ones that you can put up on like the main screen in like a model viewer. Those are the ones that come out looking okay. I'm hoping to get a physical copy of the new Rider game, because if anything, the 01 model looks good, but the double and the O's models look about the same. I could be wrong though, but I won't know until I see them in hand. I'm hoping that Bandai Namco reaches out and they're like, "Hey, here's a video game, have fun." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like I would love that. I really would, but I don't know if they'd be able to do that. We'll see. Worst case scenario, I will get the Singapore version with all the music and stuff like that, and I'll take the L when it comes to the copyright strikes for the music. But I'm sure y'all will help me back up in making those a monetizable stream. Y'all have been pretty good about those kind of things, and thank you. I appreciate it. Seriously. So I'm going chair shopping pretty soon, and that's all thanks to some of y'all. So hopefully within before December, hopefully before November or December, I'm hoping that this will be gone or minimized, because I might still need to use it for other stuff. But if you've ever seen the movie Office Space, I want to treat my chair like that printer really bad. I think that'd be a fun short stream to do for y'all. Your boy's tired. Didn't realize how tired I was before we started today. This is almost dry. I'm gonna wave it around. Hopefully it'll dry up a bit more. Enjoy the biggest part of cosplay, waiting for glue and paint to dry. Let's be real, that was all Branch. I misunderstood. You gotta remember, I can't remember what I said 5 seconds ago. Ooh. Oh, sounding sticky. We're good to go. All right, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do one at a time. It'd be stupid to do both at the same time. Should have waited for it to dry just like a little bit longer. That side's not looking great. Take care of a little bit of a trimming issue. I'm really going to wait till that dries. Alright, that's a bummer. Let's see how this sits though while we wait, because I know I cut these specifically so I can put these on here. I did it on upside down. No, it didn't the right way. Cool, good to know. I have to do a lot more cutting. Give me 2 seconds. Thank you for the hat comment. I'm gonna check something real quick. No. Where's my phone? Okay, cool. Thanks. Thanks for the heads up. Sorry about that. I had to take care of something. Whew, heavy. All right. So this didn't lay right on the foam, and I think I can't tell if it's my own design issue or what. All right, here we go. I got an idea. This might help. See how that sits. So I can always quick seal and add some more in there if I need to bulk it out. Keep it secure. You know what? I'm gonna go the extra mile. I'm really gonna try and make this a nice deep ankle cut. Whoa, 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 whoa! Nice shooting, Tex. Almost scratched up my thing there. Alright. Same thing on this side. I'm trying to make a really deep cut angle because I realized I didn't need this much of a thick piece of foam. This happens sometimes. Alright. Do one more that way too. Okay. I don't know if I will be able to anymore considering the way I messed this one up already. Might have to redo this one later. On the off time streams. Off of stream is what I meant to say, not the off stream times. I don't stream on off stream times. That'd be insane. I don't want to do stuff without y'all. So I glued that way, and then glue this back on that way, and this one up over that way, and hope it sits nice. Glue's in the front up there. Sides. Cover it with the detailing. Yeah. I guess that's gonna be it. Not exactly how I planned it. But that happens sometimes, and that's okay. For the most part. Sometimes it's not okay, and I get angry. Because I don't want that to happen. Alright, let's see. There. We do an angle cut up there, and then these can sit on that. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Keep that thing holstered, partner. Oh man, Megadong, I'm glad you could make it in. It's good to see you. Always coming in clutch with those YouTube comments too. Always make me laugh. Thank you. I hate carving foam. It's like one of my least favorite parts of the gig, but sometimes you just gotta do it. So maybe I won't do 2 parts of these tonight. I just want to get one done and be satisfied. I can crank tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do for future streams, so probably on Friday and Thursday this week, I'll have patterns ready to go for the shoes and start going right from there, so then you guys can see the quickness factor. Yeah, because we're actually getting to the point where I wanted to get close to stopping talking about doing the cosplay stuff and start talking about the Gaim stuff. Wednesdays aren't going to be as long as my usual streams. These are probably going to be like closer to like an hour shorter. I really don't want to go too crazy long on some of these. God, I love this song every time. Really hate cutting foam like that. Really hate it. It's alright, most of this is gonna get overlapped by that new stuff anyways. I really should have done this with 4 or 5 probably. Huh. Alright, adding registration marks. Whew, okay. We're gonna glue these pieces on now. God, I love this song. It's so good. I'm gonna be absolutely friggin' devastated whenever Akira Kushida passes away. But the dude's a powerhouse. He is still performing today, which is like insane. But I love him to death. I think he's one of Japan's greatest theme writers and singers. I really enjoy him. He's a great of his time, and I'm glad that we were able to experience him. But I hope he stays with us for a long time still. Love that guy to death. His style is so fun. World would be a sadder place without Kushi, just saying. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit lazy and do one of these numbers so that I can actually see where my glue all meets up with everything. All right. Cool. Good. It gave me a good idea of where I need to go. I want to say his... Gaim came out in the 80s. Oh my god, the 80s, 40 years ago. Okay, He was 30 then, he's pushing it now. It must have been in his 30s or 40s. Probably his early 30s, I'm assuming. That'd be pretty wild if he'd been doing it for longer. But yeah, he did like all the Space Sheriffs, a couple of the other Metal Heroes, Dragon Road for Kamen Rider Z-Cross, and the 10 Rider special. Gavon, Puto Terror, Power to Terror from O's and Puto Terror combo. Still a lot of Super Sentai things too. Dude's great. He's also did a bunch of anime themes. Personally, my favorite are all the Kinnikuman themes. He did great on those. Kinnikuman, go fight. Love that thing. It's a good time. I gotta post those pictures of me at the Kinnikuman pop-up store in Kawagoe. I think it was Kawagoe where we saw that. No, wait, no. It was on our way to Kawagoe is where we saw it. Alright, we're going to let these dry. Then I'm going to attach them. Then we're going to call on the cosplay stuff for the night. I know I wanted to get some more stuff done. It's just, it's not going to happen today. I guess what I'll do is, in my meantime, I'll try to get the shoe patterns done. I'll try to get this detail bit done so that I can show you all how I did it when it's completed. And then do one, as just one quiet stream where I just tear through and get that shit done. I didn't realize how long I spent time on this. Like, I used to go for days. And then I would like look up and be like, oh, time to eat. And then I would look down and start working again. And I'd look up and be like, oh, time for bed. And then start all over again. Crazy how long it takes to do some of these things. But also, I'm taking my time. I'm not trying to move as quick as I have in my past. Like, there were some days where I was hauling butt. Absolutely hauling butt trying to get stuff done. And like, sometimes it comes out good. The majority of the time it does not. That's why this time, with this costume, I'm really taking my time. Trying to get it done by the end of the month still. I won't have to rush that badly, because painting's going to be a breeze. It's just I'm trying to get to a point where when I'm not working on foam construction, I'm outside painting. And I think I still need to make like the shoes before I can get to that part. So then all I have left are the biceps and shoulders and belt to make. Oh, and the hips, because I still need to do this, which the boxes were a catastrophic failure, but we'll get back to that eventually. It's more so my contour lines were not good. I need to redo those. It's alright, it happens. I just want to have it in time for the CSM launch. At least the North American launch. There we go. Huh. Okay, well, we're gonna have to add some context mat in a couple places. But for the most part, yeah, that added on pretty nicely. Sweet deal. So then I could probably just pin and trim for the rest of that. Nah, because I don't want to buckle too much down there. I still need to keep this even for the rest of the detail bits that are going to go on the outside of the shin. But there we are. We got that front part done. So next, all we're going to do is those outside detail bits. All right. Not quite as good looking as I was hoping. I'll probably put something in there to flatten that out, like another piece of foam, just so it doesn't look as buckled. Or I'll Dremel it out. But we'll see. Yeah. Alright. Let me take another 5 minutes. When I come back, we're going to have a special guest with us, and we're going to talk about some Kamen Rider Gaim for a bit. We're going to try our best to keep it as non-spoilery as possible, but more so just like a nostalgia of, oh man, this was fun. Do you remember this? Yeah, good times. And while we're at it, I'm going to bring out some bits and pieces from my old Gaim costume. Not everything, but a couple things I think you all will be interested in taking a look at nonetheless. So, sit tight. We'll be back soon. And, yeah. Gaim time. Woo! Okay, see y'all in a bit. Hey folks, we're going on standby for just a minute. We're going to get started here in just a second. The special guest just got over here, so we should start in just a minute. See you soon. All right, folks, we're about to get started again. Here we go. Say hello to our guest, Katie.
Hi.
So, this is my girlfriend, Katie. She goes by Lady Kit Katie. She also writes for Tokusatsu Network, and she also has her Twitter at not at TheNextDecade. That's mine. Her Twitter is at Lady Kit Katie. Go give her a follow. She talks about Midna from Twilight Princess.
I call myself a Midna and King Boo stan account, but what it is a lot of just like retweeting Toku memes, and occasionally I throw out some veterinary knowledge, but it's mainly just memes.
So, she isn't gonna come on too often. It's whenever she feels like she wants to. We're not trying to like run a boyfriend girlfriend podcast or anything. Those have already been done and kind of boring. But the thing is that she jumped onto Kamen Rider with Kamen Rider Gaim. So her first Rider series that she was watching as it was live and airing was Gaim. Mm-hmm. But you were watching other things alongside it while we were watching Gaim.
Yeah.
I think I put you through Decade and Double first, right?
Right. So how it basically was when we first met, he did what he does with everybody. Is, you know, if you haven't heard of Kamen Rider, he's going to get you to hear about Kamen Rider. And he tried to get me to watch Kamen Rider Gaim because that was airing at the time. And he used the tagline of, well, it's made by the same people who did Madoka Magica.
Still haven't seen it.
If you like that, it's written by the same person, and I like Madoka Magica, so of course I jumped on it. And while I was a little thrown off at first that it wasn't anime, because that was what I watched at the time, I really grew to like it a lot, and there was a lot of really, really interesting things. And he told me I was spoiled with my first Rider show, which I was, and I realized that as soon as we started watching Decade, which was what we started concurrently with Gaim.
But my favorite thing about it was, like, you're like, oh, this is nowhere near the same. What is going on? And then, like, about halfway through it, you're like, no, I get it. I dig it. And that's when I knew, like, okay, cool, this is going to work.
Yeah, well, like, Decade was kind of like a trudge at first, because I wasn't really fully appreciative of Tsukasa Kadoya just yet. And then once we got into Double, that was like, ooh, okay, yeah, this isn't just like a one-hit wonder with Gaim. Like, there's other shows, and then O's, and then Forza, and we basically just kind of like marathoned. And then once we reached up to Wizard, we switched it up a little bit and started like going like to earlier things, like we watched Ryuki and Faiz. And
I think we're still gonna go back and watch Wizard eventually, just because I feel like I owe it a rewatch. Mm-hmm. It's been long enough.
Right now, I'm really itching to watch Kuga. I've been asking to watch that for a little while. And
yeah, well, I've shown you a couple episodes, and then like my family's watching it all now too, so I guess I gotta get her on top of it. Like, my cousin Dom's watching. Dom, if you're still on here, thanks for watching, buddy. I miss you. I hope I can see you soon. And then my mom and my grandmother have been watching it too, which is like, it's always funny. They're like, we're not too far along, but he turned blue, and I like that.
Hi, TJ. It's good to see you.
Hey, Teach. I wanted to talk about a couple things that happened while we were watching Gaim, because that's when you and I first started dating. Mm-hmm. And I was also trying my best to make a Kamen Rider Gaim costume at the same time. And your boy got completely distracted because it's like, what, a girl? And she's okay with watching Kamen Rider? Like, so, I brought some parts of my Gaim cosplay to show, and she's gonna tell you exactly how screwed I was the night before trying to get this done. Remember, I was trying to work on the bodysuit, and then the sewing machine broke?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I had to go with a party suit that was royal blue instead of navy blue.
We had worked so hard on, because, you know, I had been cosplaying for several years before I met Dustin, so cosplay was not a new thing to me. But armored cosplay definitely was. That was like on another level. So when we met, it was April, and the big convention here in North Carolina is at the end of May.
Yep.
So we had both met each other right where Con Crunch started to happen. And I was very distracting as an individual for him because...
I kept saying, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And then every single time I was about to do it, I was like, I wonder what Katie's up to. And we'd text each other for hours at a time.
I would come up and hang out, and then, you know, things would just kind of fall to the wayside. So I partially take blame for
But
some
I
of it.
also have to say that if it wasn't for her, half this cosplay wouldn't have come together because where she lived at the time was really close to a Hobby Lobby,
That's
which
right.
was nowhere near me. And, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Hobby Lobby, but they're the only place that carries, like, that 5mm foam stuff I love so much. So every single time she would come back to my house, she would have it. Or every single time I would go out to her house, I would grab it.
I literally would use the excuse of bringing him stuff from Hobby Lobby to come see him. Fun fact. Just because there was a Hobby Lobby where I lived, but not where he was. So it was a good excuse to continue seeing each other. We just wouldn't use the stuff that we bought at Hobby Lobby.
No, we'd be too busy, like, hanging out and goofing off and just be like, you're cute. No, you're cute.
Going
no,
to see
it's you.
movies and going and eating dinner.
I wanted to share some of the parts of my Gaim costume because not all of it's together. I have some of the Kachidoki helmet over there, but, like, I really don't want to bring that thing out. It's a mess. But I am debating on maybe trying to bring back Gaim eventually. It's also one where it's like, I feel like I didn't do it enough justice, so I want to do it justice. But here's the back of the chest piece. If you guys want to see how much of a mess it was, you can see it's a combination of 10mm floor mats that have those diamond patterns, the 5mm foam, and absolute ass load of hot glue.
Lots of hot glue. You can't see it on camera, but I promise you, like, there's hot glue, there's the magnetic clasp.
Yeah, the magnetic clasp. I got a story about this, okay? So, I also have 2 ceramic magnets down here because I just needed more and I couldn't get more of these. There's a furry that likes to come to the animazement scene here in Raleigh, and they made a fursuit that looks like Kamen Rider Double. It's a cool idea. I like how people can be creative like that. What I don't like is when you have the squeaky things in your paws and then you come running over to me and start pat, and then this all falls off of me in the middle of the event. I'm just standing there like, what the hell, bro? But one thing on this that I have to give you a lot of credit for, she actually taught me a new word for items I was looking for cosplay, which are these half hemisphere things. They're called cabochons. How many of these did you buy me?
Oh, I bought you like 4 packs.
4 packs, yeah, and like these are the resin casted ones. I had other ones in Gaim that I actually hot glued on, and they lasted really good after I plasti dipped and added the paint on top of it too. They really stuck on there good. And then I pulled them all off to let somebody else use it, and then it didn't fit their head, and they broke it on the way back. It was really, really nice, super kind. Really, really appreciate that effort. Anyways, yeah, it's a horrible mess. It looks like garbage. Here, I'm going to bring it up over here from this main. You mind holding it up for them over there? Yeah, there you go. That's good right there. We're going to put a camera light up there so y'all can see better. But essentially, it's made of spray paint, and it's really thick spray paint, too. It looks okay on camera. Up close. So, the next thing from the costume I wanted to share with y'all are the shoulder pieces, and I actually attached them to each other. I used wood, and like this weird wood frame I had around my shoulders. They're just attached weird, so then they don't come apart right now, but here, let's see if I can't get them apart real fast. I used wood pieces and a little wooden frame that ran around my neck, and my neck was protected by the foam that I put around that piece. And then from there I would attach these things, which were the shoulders. If I can get them, come on, done. Yeah. But essentially I would sandwich them in, and they would sit onto the neck piece, and they sat like that. And it came out okay. Like, my idea, solid. Execution, not as pretty. But knowing what I know now, I could probably do this whole thing in foam, not even need to use wood at all. If anything, PVC foam, which is just, plastic bubbled foam sheets.
And that's something that you have to always consider, and it's so important with cosplay, is that you won't learn until you put together some costumes and you'll always look back at your older costumes and think, I can do so many things better now because I've learned new techniques since then. So if you make a costume and it's not coming out the way that you want, or you're not happy with the end result, don't be afraid to give it another go sometime down the line.
Yeah, I mean, look at me in O's. My first O's costume was poopy poop poop poop.
That's
poop,
a
poop,
great example.
My new O's, Times Square worthy.
Yeah, I mean, just don't be afraid to tackle some old things, and don't be afraid to make those mistakes, because then you'll learn from them, and it shows in your cosplay journey and progress.
And part of the reason why I started doing all these other costumes and not giving up after Decade was I wanted to be sure that whenever I did get a chance to come back to Decade, I can make it as perfect as I could. So one of these days, I'll be making that, I'm sure. But until then, I think that's enough talking about the cosplay. Let's talk about some of the news that just popped up yesterday. Where everyone at Toei was like, hey, it's Gaim Day and we're giving you another movie. And we're like, what? So, Katie, what was your initial reaction to hearing the news that we were getting more Kamen Rider Gaim content 6 years after the show has ended?
I mean, it's a little random, but I personally, I know that, as the years go on for a Kamen Rider season, people will either still like the season or they'll hate it, and I feel like Gaim is one of those where as time has passed, people kind of hate it in retrospect.
Well, I think the only reason why that people hate it now is just because it's that one that everybody would not shut up about because of how darn fun it was and how different it was and how many people it brought in.
That is true. But, I mean, the point where I'm going with that is basically, I feel like there are the people like us who, still look back at Gaim and still look at it favorably, and we're like, oh my god, I'll always take new Gaim content. Mm-hmm. That was such a strong cast of people, and I feel like they all got together really well.
I think the only Gaim thing I didn't like, or we didn't like, was the soccer movie.
Yeah, I mean, they had some interesting choices there, but,
yeah.
I mean, overall, I personally really liked Gaim. If you didn't like Gaim, I'm sorry that you've got this random piece of content that you have to ignore. Oh, weh. Sorry. I'm a little salty sometimes.
Hey, Maddie, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you.
Hi, Maddie. But, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that we're going to get some more Gaim content, and the prospect of Gaku-Sano coming back is also always very, very enjoyed, because he was such a good main writer. I think he was very strong. I was very fortunate to have him as my entry into the series with that big puffy orange vest jacket of his.
Which seeing him come back wearing that again in the Zio episodes was...
Every time he's come back has been such a treat.
Every time he comes back, he looks older and looks a little bit more like his brother, which I think is funny, because aren't they twins?
I don't know. But you know what he never is when he comes back?
What's that?
He's never taller.
Never taller.
Never taller.
But hey, he's flippier every time, though. You gotta give him that. Man can flip for days.
Saber's a tall one.
Yeah, Saber is very tall. Dude, one Saber is equal to 2 Kotas.
I kind of want... I know this will never happen, but I just want to put all, the main riders next to each other on, a board and, just rank their height. Just so that we can see who's, the tallest and
then
who's
a
shortest.
cinnamon bun. Yeah. So, since we don't really know anything about what we're getting, other than, a couple speculative things and tweets that we've seen, what would you like to see? Do you want to see, Gaim Gaiden 3 featuring 2 riders, or do you want, a continuation, or, hey, Kota's back, or what kind of story do you want out of this?
Well, didn't we get... We had, because after Gaim ended and we had such that Gaim fever, I feel like we had a bunch of Gaim Gaidens announced. Did we get all of them?
Yes, we got all 4 of them. We got
okay.
the, try to remember just to make sure I got it right. There's one with Knuckle.
Yeah, Knuckle got one.
I feel like...
Bravo has not
Bravo
didn't get one. Baron got one.
Baron got one.
Melon Man got one. Did he get one? No, he got the play. He got the stage play. Zanget's got the stage
I don't
play.
know, because it's been so long since I watched any of those Gaiden movies.
It has been a long time.
One of them was Duke. I remember that one of them was Duke because he got a special form.
Well, we're not getting him back.
No, wait, no. I think one of them was Zanget's because it was actually the a prequel little bit of information in there with him and Duke.
But he also got a whole stage play to himself.
That's true. Which we still haven't gotten that Kachidoki Lock Seed for Zanget's yet. Can we please?
But as far as things that I would love to see, I'd like to see Bravo come back for sure. I'd like to see Jinochi come back. I definitely enjoyed those 2 characters. Those were very strong comedic side characters.
How would you feel if we got a Gaim Gaiden story where it's just been Michi trying to be the main writer of the area since then, just to see what kind of growth he's gotten since?
the one way that I think Gaim Gaiden would be a disappointment to me is if it is like 90% Michi. I don't like Michi. I feel like he's very much, he was perfect to choose as the great because sometimes he's sour, sometimes he's sweet. And a lot of the times you just want to drop kick him over a fence. That has nothing to do with grapes, but that's just how I feel.
Grape?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, if you could pick 2 riders from Gaim to have their own special Gaiden, if this ends up being a 2-parter Gaiden, who would you pick?
Orin and Janochi, easily.
Oh, each of them having their own separate stories, or having one where it's like Bravo featuring?
I feel like they could work together as a pair because they were kind of paired up at the end, which isn't really spoilery.
Right.
But I do think that they do work off each other well, so if they were sandwiched together in one, I feel like that wouldn't hurt either of the other ones.
Okay, so let's say those 2 are sandwiched.
Sure.
Who else would you give an extra one to?
I guess I'd want to give... I feel like Mai deserved, like, a little bit more.
Oh, Malika?
Yeah, no.
No, Mai, just her by herself?
I feel like she deserved more. I feel like she kind of...
It's an interesting take.
Was the only one who really, I don't want to get into too much of, like, how her character goes in the story, because that is definitely, like, more spoiler territory. But I'm more interested on, like, how that took place. I feel like we kind of got shafted a little bit is because we had so much else going on and so many other people to keep up with. So, yeah, I feel like I would definitely like to see more about Mai.
Okay. Well, Tokufan just posted up in the chat. There's art of a height chart up to 01. So I'll have to go look for that after this.
Yes.
So, trying to think now. If this ends up being like oh hey, Koto's back, what would you want from that?
Oh man.
Because it's kind of harder for him to come back.
It is harder for him to come back, but I honestly, if we got to see some shenanigans of what he's been up to in his new digs, in his new place, I'd love to see kind of how that all's working for him. Because like kind of like a 6 years later kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe not a bad idea.
I mean, it might be a good idea to do it sooner than later. Like, I would much rather see 5 years after instead of 10 years after for some of these. Just because a lot can happen in 10 years. And 5 years,
Speaking of a lot can happen, have other people seen the picture of young Hannah? Like,
oh yeah, no, she looks like
I just saw a picture of her yesterday.
Yeah,
and
we brought that up.
Is all grown up now, and she could.
For those of you who aren't aware, there was an actress in Kamen Rider Den-O who played the character of Hannah. She actually bailed out halfway through the show, or pretty early in the show, and they brought in a younger actress to replace her.
Like halfway.
Like halfway through. The crazy part is that the young actress, she was like a kid. Her full grown, I swear, if you put her in the Hannah outfit now, she would almost look exactly like Hannah did back in the day. Not quite the same, but a pretty darn good replacement actor.
I feel like she could cameo in Pretty Den-O.
Oh yeah, that would. Oh, what if she does? We just don't know it yet.
Cool, John Toei. If you're
John
listening.
Toei, please.
Please, John Toei.
I can't wait for Pretty Den-O. I'm really excited to see that whenever we can get a hold of it, because it's just any excuse to get Momotaro on a bow would be really funny. So I'll take it. He's gonna be losing his mind. Okay, let's say this does gangbusters and we get a legit for real Kamen Rider Gaim 2.
Oh god.
Instead of having Gen or Obochi, who would you want to write that show?
Oh my god. Who would I want to write? That's such a good question.
It's tough because you got to think about it.
Because you really do have to think about it. You have to think about the other people that have experience in writing the writer shows.
I got my answer right off the bat.
Who's your answer?
My answer is going to be always my favorite answer, which is Toshiki Inoue, just because that man, once you give him enough characters and enough booze and get him on his horny level, that man writes some of the most bizarre, strange things that have ever crossed the screen on Kamen Rider. And I kind of need more of it. I would love to see him absolutely butcher the butcher's work.
Oh my god.
So, that's who I would pick as Inoue. Oh, Arikawa is getting thrown in and out there. Maybe not, though.
That's, whew.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about with Gaim before we go? Maybe, here's an idea. Give us a spoiler-free recommendation of Gaim to everyone that hasn't seen Gaim in the chat.
Okay. Alright, so Gaim starts out as the most innocent little Kamen Rider show you had ever seen. It's a bunch of kids just having fun. They're gonna, go do their dance cruise, and there's some, rivalries going on with the dance crew next door, and they're stinky, and we don't like them. They wear really edgy coats, and they flip their hair weird, and, you know. But then suddenly there's these weird little monsters that come out, and they're called the Invests, and they come out of zippers, and it's very strange. But for some reason, the dancing kind of helps defeat the monsters. Okay, basically, everybody gets the fruit samurai powers from the lock seeds, and the lock seeds are very, very clever in.
Well, that one's a Knight of Spear.
The lock seeds are very cool gimmick items inside the show and outside the show, because inside the show they have different layers to them, which you see as you go on.
Like onions.
And you'll realize how very literal I am when I say layers. And then with on the outside, like the actual lock seed toys that you can buy, the DX ones are very, very cool. They have the light up sounds and everything, and they're very addictive to just kind of play with.
Right,
as, like,
and I can
toys.
confirm, because I checked earlier today on stream, the orange Loxy just died today. And that's 6 years of battery life.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with LR44s.
But you really strap in for 40-some episodes of just twists and turns, and you... As somebody who watched Madoka first, I kind of had a better understanding, because Madoka is jam-packed into 12 episodes, and Gaim is 40-something. So what Urabochi did is he like stretched that out, and he was like, let's throw in this curve and this curve and this curve, and it's super, super interesting to watch. It's one of those where you never feel like you're bored. You always know that you're going to want to pop into the next episode. And in retrospect, from watching like the rest of the Heisei era from there on, I feel like it was one of the last shows that we really got like some really more adult themes, and that sounds really silly coming from a show that's about fruit. But
I mean, the next writer, I think after that got really close to touching the same kind of level of like, oh damn, moments was Build.
Yeah.
But before that, like, I mean, the next closest thing we had to Gaim was nothing. That's how impactful I think that show is. We have other writer shows that are really, really, really darn good too, but I'm just talking in terms of like tone and making you want to come back week to week by giving you something where it's like, you better be here. I think that's why I would say we haven't had a show quite like it since that and Build.
It was also the show that really kind of broke the mold of 2-episode arcs, which for me, as somebody who was slamming through these writer shows season after season in weeks of time, became such a slog for me, because I would know in the first episode of an arc, okay, the writer's not going to win, they're going to lose, and then they're going to come back and they're going to find something that's going to help them defeat it. So Gaim was always just such a breath of fresh air, because you never knew. It wasn't so episodic and so like formulaic that you didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, and like that was one of my favorite things about it was like when a rider gets beat up, they usually get like power up and then they're up and ready to save the day. And it's like there were some examples in Gaim where the main rider did not have that power up anywhere nearby him, couldn't do anything, got his butt kicked, and then you think, oh man, he's done, and then another character would come in and save the day, and they would take over as the main character for that episode. And it's like that really wasn't done in Rider before. And as much as I'm not a big fan of having a large cast of writers, like anything more than 4, I start to get really annoyed. But I guess Gaim is that example of one of the ones where you can have as many as you want and I will watch it. Really, truly. And I'm hoping Saber can be that way for me as well, but we won't know more until we see more of that show.
Yeah.
You gotta give it the benefit of the doubt. So we'll know when we see it.
As far as my opinions on Saber, just in case anybody cares.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I am still really hesitant about it. I'm still, nothing's jumped out to like really impress me so far. I will say I really like the ED. I like the ED a lot. And I was really worried when I heard that we were going to have an ending dance, that it was going to be like a Sentai dance that's going to be like, oh, all the kids are going to dance along and play in front of the television.
And it's almost exactly that.
But not really.
Almost.
What I would say, I took 13 years of dance for those who know and or don't care. But what I saw from like the ending dance is a lot more choreographed than what I thought, a lot of like the Sentai dances were. Where it's like, okay, we're all gonna do it in front of the kids, and like that actually looked more like it was choreographed and rehearsed and stuff. So that's like the highlight for me so far, which sucks to say because I'm looking forward to the ending the most out of the entire show. But there's still plenty of time to change my mind and impress me or not impress me.
CG?
The CG, I mean, it's better than what if we're comparing it to IXA because it's the same writers, at least they look better than the Bugsters that we had at the beginning of that show, because that was a giant CG mess.
I thought Zero One's team was the one working on X-Ray.
What? No.
I thought the team that worked on X-Ray is the team that worked on Zero One. I thought the team we have now is a different team.
No, this is Saber. Saber has X-Aid's writing.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
Writing staff.
Yeah, you could anybody.
Oh no, I was talking about crew. I don't know why I thought. My bad. Never mind.
But then somebody else in the chat said that we should explain Gaim badly, which that is just. Have you ever heard of that app called Fruit Ninja that came out in like 2010? That's Gaim.
You want me to describe Gaim? Okay.
Oh no. He's even opening it the big brain way, ladies and gentlemen.
So, I'm Kota.
You got. Hang on. Hang on. Got it.
Got it? Cool.
Yeah.
Not done yet, not done yet.
Thank you,
This
TJ.
is Michi.
Oh no.
This is Zangetz.
Dustin!
What? It's my desk, I'll clean it up. Anyways, that's Gaim in a nutshell.
A grape died for that. Oh my god.
It tastes like glue.
Yeah.
Let me slide past, please. Alright, run the show for a second. I'll be right back.
Run the show. Oh my god. If this is what he's like all the time, I'm sorry. Thank you all for watching and putting up with that. But I guess while I have y'all here, if anybody has any questions for me, I don't know why you would ask me things, but
What I miss?
jack shit.
Oh.
Am I allowed to swear?
You're
Wait a
allowed to
minute.
swear, yes.
Okay.
There's a disclaimer at the start.
I
that
should have
this show is
asked that
intended
before.
For people over 17. Little boys and girls shouldn't be watching this.
Wow, you know that by heart, huh?
Huh? Yeah.
But what about Orin? We always have time for Orin.
Always got time for Orin. Love that dude. Actually,
Orin, the fact
you
that
talk about
Orin,
I'm gonna dig something now.
the fact that Orin had his own Sengoku driver, which was the one with his face on it. Can
That
we
was a big
please,
deal.
can we appreciate that Toei like put money into that? Like that could have gone to so many other things, and Toei decided that
Man,
that
dude.
deserved its own box and everything. That was, oh my god, that was great. That was Orin was such a treat.
I'm gonna see if I can slide in from this side.
TJ, I know, and we all put up with it, and we all do our best. We're one big happy family here.
So I'm gonna tell a story that I don't usually tell too often, but it involves Kamen Rider Gaim, because this is one of our earliest first times being apart kind of stories. So before she and I met, we'd already made plans to go to 2 separate conventions. She was gonna go to RTX. I was gonna go to Anime Expo 2014. I was gonna go write for Henshin Justice, check out the cosplay scene, and try to meet Geno Oboshi, who is the writer for Kamen Rider Gaim. And when I got there, all the Gaim figure arts had just released, and your boy's birthday was at the same time, so I was like, yes, superfluous amounts of money, please. So I got this cool setup of stuff down here that you can check out. I got the main 4 and this, the main 3. Got him later, because I don't like the creepest. And, I got the board, I got the little platform for it. It was really cool. But, I realized that with my press badge, I can get in there a little bit early, and I can talk to a couple people, get some information from folks, and see when people are going to be at certain places. So I found out Geno Obochi was going to have a lottery to get a chance to talk with him and sign stuff. So I jumped in that as soon as I could. I got very fortunate, and I was able to get in there. I walked up with my Gaim figure art, and he seemed really excited. His translator was super helpful and very, very kind. And through his translator, he asked me who was my favorite part of the show. And I said, very quickly, oh, Takatora. Me and a lot of the other American fans for Gaim really enjoy Takatora a lot. But we're really, 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 really absolutely worried about him. Please don't do it. Don't do it, don't do it. And
we lost a lot of good men.
yeah.
And we were looking at him, and we were like...
So,
he'd had some flags.
yeah, and the best part was the translator laughed. Said what they had to say back to him, and he started laughing too. Said something back to the translator. Translator came back to me, and he goes, well, we have 4 more episodes to write on the way home. I wonder what will happen.
Please enjoy the show.
Please enjoy the show. And then he took this out of my hand unprovoked. I had no intention for him to sign it. Genaramochi signed my SH Figure Arts Gaim right there in the bottom corner. You can tell it's him because his signature makes no sense. Here, let me put it back up this way. Yeah, there you go. But, yep. I got literally the rarest SH Figure Arts box for Kamen Rider Gaim's SH Figure Art. And super pleased. It was a wonderful experience. And then, sure enough, 4 episodes later, Takatora's alive, and I'm like, yes, Melon Man, yes!
He made it to the end of the series, and he, for the longest time, said that
I was like, it was not all my doing. I said, I wonder if I had anything to do with it. That's what I've always said. I'll never take full credit for that. But I will say, I hope I said enough to get him to do that for us. So, yeah, it was a really cool experience. And I know, again, you're not watching this, and I know none of his representatives are, but there's ever the off chance. Thank you so much for listening to the Odd Fan ramble about your show and making fun of him at your panel. Because I asked 2 questions, and I totally shouldn't have asked 2 questions. My bad, Joel.
But that does just kind of go to show that if you want people, the right people, to know that you love this show, and you love Kamen Rider, or you love the tokusatsu that you love to watch, and you have the opportunity to meet some of the people that have a hand in making that, you let them know, like he did. He straight up said, there are fans in America that love the show and love this character. And imagine what would happen if you never met him, or, you know, there are so many people, like when Ren Kiriyama came to Japan World Heroes,
he was
constantly surprised and in shock at how many people saw this show and loved it and watched it.
I mean, he was leaving that building grinning ear to ear every single day. That made me happy.
You need to be telling people in the right places why you love this show so much and why you want to see it more often and why you want to be able to consume it legally.
Right.
Because if you don't tell those people, if those people don't know, then you know, it's all for nothing.
You're doing a disservice to yourself, and you're doing a disservice to your fellow fans too, because this is your opportunity to be like, hey, we really like this stuff. Can we maybe find a way to do more? And I'm really grateful that since meeting Urobuchi and then everything that's happened since then, especially in this last 18 months, it's been absolutely astounding. And the opportunities I've had to meet people and say thank you and also ask small little things has been absolutely a blast. Really quickly, you will go farther in this community and outside of the community if you're kind and do things nicely instead of just instantly trying to be the cool asshole. Because let's be real, everyone would rather have you be just nice and just nice. And that's usually going to get you stuff more than you just being there like, I deserve this because this show needs to be rewritten and redrawn because I'm entitled. Kamen Rider 01 needs to be redone. Sorry, I like making fun of that person. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I just think it's so crazy that the Kamen Rider that's Kamen Rider right now, Toma's actor, is fully aware now that there are Western audiences watching his show, and that is just mind-blowing, honestly, because it opens up so many opportunities and so many doors for us, just because the main character knows that there are people like that watching, so he might try harder to engage with that other side of the audience. And
I mean, a lot of the cast for Saber's been doing it so far.
And then of course, then the ball is back in our court to behave ourselves and respond appropriately. And I know that anybody that's watching this stream right now, I know that I can trust is not going to do any of those things. But
yeah, because they know I'll kick their asses if they don't.
We also have to, take responsibility for those people that aren't going to be as, courteous and nice when we do have those opportunities presented to us. So.
And also, like, another thing too is, like, for some of those folks, you have to be a little bit forgiving because this whole community, and also just because it's a kid show, it's cyclical. As soon as you lose one idiot, you're gonna have another one fill its place with a different face. It happens. But the best thing you can do is just keep trying to be a good example and, keep upholding the things that we all agree on, and hope that, that rubs off and people want to do more stuff with us.
And it's not to say that other fandoms don't have their bad eggs too. Everyone has, the part of the fandom that is, kind of, we don't talk about them, or, you just kind of let them fester and do what they do. But the most important part about our situation is that we have a language barrier. And I feel like people forget that a lot, where a lot of people, especially like on Twitter, they're just going to hit translate tweet and they're going to make the best out of what they can read from their home language. So even if you feel like you're writing something that might be, seem nice on your end, that person can hit the translate tweet button and then Google can just do what the fuck ever with what you write, and it could come off sounding the way you don't intend it to.
Right. So generally try to say a nice message, because even if it translates poorly, it still comes across as nice for the most part. But if you're trying to make a bad message, you're just going to sound like an idiot. And let me tell you, hi, I've been chewed out before. And deservedly so, but also because Google kind of screwed me over with one of those translations. But live and learn, and look out for each other.
Yeah, the TLDR is we're extremely fortunate and blessed to be able to have the reach that we do right now. And what we need to do with that responsibility is we need to make sure that we're using it wisely, because just as easily as we're granted access to these things, that access can be taken away.
Taken away pretty quick.
So even if you're not doing anything to make that a possibility, you got to be careful for the other people and swiftly remind them that what we have right now is a privilege.
Right. And the other thing too is, and I can't stress this enough, is like, I know everyone's really upset that North America is like the first person to get this, but like usually we're the test, because if it flies here, it'll probably fly everywhere else. I personally hate that. I really hope that one day we can get to this point where, like, if it's an English-speaking country and they're getting something from Japan, all the majority English-speaking countries can get it all at the same time. I hope that's a goal that we can all achieve one day. And I think our friends at Toei are thinking about that too. But I can't say anything more than that.
I think, from an outsider perspective, I think that right now there's a lot of ears listening to us and a lot of eyes watching us. And what we need to do right now is we need to show how much we love Kamen Rider and the other tokusatsu shows, Super Sentai, Ultraman. Well, Ultraman.
Metal Hero.
Ultraman's
killing
y'all
it.
are getting your butts padded right now. Y'all are getting so much.
I'm not even a big Ultraman guy, and I'm so happy for all of you.
Mill Creek is literally sending each a separate edible arrangement. Like, everyone's getting catered so well to.
I mean, shoot, I'm not even a big Ultraman guy, and look, like, they're trying. Like, honest to God, they're trying. We've talked about this before, so.
Like, every other day, Tokusatsu pushes out a tweet that says that another Ultraman series is going to be available for streaming. Like, it's happening, folks. Buckle in.
Yeah, and like I said it ages ago. I sent out letters like back in 2014 when we were first meeting, like to people being like, please get a hold of this, strike when the iron's hot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it started feeling like it started to cool. And then 2020 hit, and Ultraman and Kamen Rider, they relit that flame, and I'm excited. I can't wait to see what else we get. I really, really am excited. So before we do our usual wrap up, we're gonna go through the chat and see what else anybody has to say.
Okay.
And then we'll do our usual goodbyes and announcements and stuff like that.
Oh, Shirakura tweeted. That's dangerous.
Oh man, Shirakura tweeted. Yeah,
that could mean anything.
No more Trinity mishaps.
Speak of the devil.
Speak of the devil.
Dude,
wow, way to go, V.
Do you think Shirakura wakes up in the middle of the night and thinks about that kid? I hope not.
No, probably not. If anything, he probably just like thinks about it for like a split second and is just like, oh wait, I blocked him on Twitter. No problem. So, all right, let's see what y'all have to say in the chat real quick. Maddie says, I was there. Good dude. Yes, that was a really good time.
Japan World Heroes was a really, really fun time.
I love being the Ultraman host. Hey, Don. Welcome in. Release Ultraman. Ultraman. Sorry, I'm not trying to make too much fun of you. All right, well, it looks like chat doesn't really have too much. So, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I know it took you, like, it was a really long drive, all of 15 feet to walk from our bedroom over to here.
I know. It was... I ran into a lot of traffic, actually. Each cat individually walked in front of me on the way here.
Yeah, I hate it when they do that. I just got to the point where I started punting them. Takumi can take it. You know he's already brain damaged. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. I don't hurt my animals.
It's a joke based in fact, not fiction. But
we didn't hurt him. It was some other idiots. She saved him.
I fixed him. But...
And then we named him Takumi because he's a little gray orphanok. Hey.
Yeah. I guess if you want to follow me, like he said before, you can follow me at LadyKitKatie on Twitter. I also have an Instagram that I post very irregularly on as well. What?
Oh, they just noticed the camera, so I just waving to them.
Hello. Yeah, I also write for the Tokusatsu Network, so definitely go follow them if you don't already. They put out some of the best Tokusatsu news, and we always make sure that we're fact-checking our things, and we never post anything before we have actual source material for it to prove that it's true. We don't post rumors or anything like that, so definitely check them out. I'm actually going to be on their newest podcast that should be releasing. I think it released for patrons today, so if you're on Tokusatsu Network's Patreon, that is available for you today. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what the topic of the podcast was that I was on, but that should be releasing to the public here shortly, probably within the next week or so.
Sound like y'all had a good time recording.
Yeah, so definitely check me out there if you want to hear more of my voice, or yeah, just check me out in general, I guess, but not too much.
What's your Twitter one more time?
Lady Kit Katie.
Yeah, if you check her out too much, I'm taking your eyeballs.
Yeah. I never have to deal with con creeps ever because there's a 6'5" common rider.
Well, but let's be real though. We've had a couple people on Twitter that are like, huh, "You like Kamen Rider?" And they'll come in and be like, "Yeah, I like Kamen Rider. What's up?"
He's also never hard to find in a crowd because he's always a head above them. And if you've ever seen Dustin at a convention, when he's not in costume or taking a picture, his helmet is usually sitting on top of his head.
Makes it easy for me to be
while
seen.
his normal head is already a head above everyone else, on top of that head is a Kamen Rider helmet. So it's really easy to find.
I also love it when I do that because I'll hear people across the convention center be like, "Holy shit, it's Kamen Rider!" And I'll like whip that direction, and then I'll hear, "Ah!"
Like, it's just Dustin. Dustin, what's up?
Oh man.
Oh man. We should hopefully be back to some conventions once the world cools down a little bit. We had planned to go to MomoCon this year, and obviously Conmageddon happened. So
Conmageddon, Worldmageddon, Armageddon. We're almost there. Close enough. So just to plug my stuff real quick. Twitter, Instagram, @TheNextDecade. Easiest way to find me, easiest way to contact me. You can also catch me here on every other Wednesday. But actually, it's every Wednesday if you join on Patreon. So go check out the Patreon. Every Patreon member gets into the exclusive Patreon streams. Those are just a little bit more chilled out than these. Different music, because it's not going to be monetized anyway, so I can play whatever the hell we want. It's a little bit more like a radio show. I sit there and I do my work, but we hang out. And then I also offer coaching, private lessons, pattern making, video editing, all that other kind of stuff on the Patreon, so please check that out. I also stream on Saturdays, every single Saturday night at 9, starting between 9 or 10:30. If I don't start by 10:30, something happened, and I'll probably be streaming on Sunday instead. I want to thank everyone that uses our Super Chat over this last few weeks. It's been extremely helpful in making me realize that, yeah, this is definitely the route I needed to go for my work. And I love all of y'all. Thank you all so much for coming in, keeping a pretty consistent group going too. We've had all of the streams from the first one have at least 10 people plus, and like I was expecting to start with like maybe 1 or 2 and be that way for months like some streamers start, but y'all showing up like this, like really, it makes me happy to be here every single week. And yeah, our next stream is going to be Saturday. This is going to be another stream where we just sit and work on IXA stuff. I'm going to be really cranking. Probably only going to do IXA stuff. The Hangout chat might be limited to just 10-15 minutes next week. We'll see. Or this weekend. Next Wednesday, Patreon stream. But not this upcoming Saturday. The next Saturday, we're having a short birthday party stream for Katie. We're going to get her cake out, we're going to give her some presents, and then we're going to talk just maybe 5-10 minutes about some fun stuff, and then call it a night, because I don't want to go too long. I want to spend time with my girlfriend on her birthday. I'm sure you'll understand. So,
and if you don't, I'll fight you.
Yeah, I'll fight you too. All right. Well, my iPad just died, so I can't see the chat anyways. I love y'all so much. I'll catch you next time, and I'll see you on Thursday. It's the Phil DeFranco Show again. Okay, bye!